all this Diddy stuff going on, man. What do you?
I'm sure glad that I didn't hang out with him, right?
You never got into you never were in his
I've
universe.
met him, right, but never went out, right? And actually back in 2003, he reached out to me to the Mavs and wanted to design a uniform for us. And I never met him. We did it all via email. And so he had some of his designers get in touch with me and they put together some, and it was a cool looking uniform, right?
Yeah.
We used it for a couple of years, but that was the extent of my connection to Diddy. I never hung out or did anything. And you know, I hung out enough in LA, but I never really heard stories about the parties or anything like that. That wasn't my scene.
Yeah, that's kind of, I would just hear stuff sometimes, like I would hear certain things, but it was never anything like, oh, this is exactly what's going on.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
you just heard
think somebody would
stuff.
say something. How do you keep that quiet for so long? You know, all those videos, it's not like people didn't like, I don't care if you take people's phones, right? Someone's sneaking in the phone.
Yeah.
If shit like that's happening.
Yeah, it's amazing that if they say all the things are true, that he was able to just do that for so long, you know? What is a level like, is it scary when people get to a level of wealth that they can kind of have anything? Like, what is some of that?
See, I don't look at it that way, right?
And I'm not saying you do.
No,
either,
no, I hear
but
you.
I'm just curious about it.
Yeah, like what are the options, right?
Right.
Like if you're rich as fuck, what can you do and get away with, right? I don't hang out with people like that, right? I always looked at it that like my high school buddies are still my high school buddies, right? The guys, you know, my rugby teammates in Indiana, my Indiana buddies, those are my friends. The guys, I lived 6 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment when I moved to Dallas. Those are my friends, right? So it's not like, okay, I'm getting the butlers, I'm getting the chauffeur, and look at me, right? And I came by myself. I don't give a shit about that stuff.
No, you seem, I was kind of wondering, I was like, how will he show up? Will a stork drop him off?
Yeah, right?
You know, like, how's he gonna?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it hasn't crossed my mind, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, you have to be, in order to do shit like Diddy or anybody like that, you have to be so paranoid, right? You have to try to think of every base to cover, right? And, you know, now part of me wishes I'd done, because there's too many pictures of me out drunk with my friends and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't like to live paranoid, right? I mean, I love having a lot of money. It's a whole lot better to be rich than it is to be broke, but I was happy when I was poor. I just was happier when I was rich. And so I don't get that whole thing of, you know, like just be protective and like play the rich game, right? That's just not my style.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I think play the rich game. Like, but do you see people, like, do you ever like, because that's the thing, like people get so much money and then they get power too, or some of them get one or the other, maybe both. But then like, how does that infect people? Do you see that infects some people? Like, have you ever witnessed it?
Yeah, oh, for sure, right? So like people who think because they're rich, they're smarter, right? That they have more privilege, right? They can get away with whatever they want. Yeah, particularly in business, right? So if you talk to somebody that may be richer than me, right, who will say shit that's just crazy, right, and think, okay, because I said it, that's what's up, right? That's it's right, right? Or more likely, though, in my experiences, like I'll get invited to these parties, right, that are really nice house and stuff, right? But there'll be like 50 servants, right? 5 people to answer the door, 6 people that just specialize in toast, right? Just ridiculous shit, right? And all over, I'm like, how do you live like this? You know, because it's bad enough. Like I have too big a house. And so you have to have people there to clean it and stuff like that. And there's no privacy just with that. And there's people that'll have like 10 people in the house at all times.
Yeah.
And I don't see how they live, right? So for some people, maybe it's like showing off. To me, it's just like, why would you live that way? Right, I'm happy to have all this money because I can live the way I want, as opposed to live the way somebody thinks I should.
Yeah,
and I just get the sense, to your point, that some people get to that level and it's like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Right, I'm supposed to have this type of car. I'm supposed to have this many people working for me at the house. I'm supposed to have this type of china or whatever.
Gold toilets.
Whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
But I am going to say one of the things I got a heated toilet seat.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
Really?
You never had one?
Mm-mm. Dude, I remember when I first got a clean lady to come once a week, I helped her like the first month. I felt horrible.
Guilty, right? Yeah. You got to get a heated toilet seat. That's like,
bro, I don't want my butt to get used to too many fancy things.
I'm just telling you.
Really?
I'm just telling you, right?
That's the one, huh?
I
can almost imagine.
Because I go from, when you travel, right, you leave home and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I went where I'm staying now, right? No heated toilets. The first thing I noticed, you sit down in the morning and you're like, fuck.
You're like, this could be better.
It could be better, right? I'm paying all this for this room and my butt's cold.
I know. Oh, dude, I remember the first night I stayed in a hotel room and it was like $600 or something. And I was afraid to even go to sleep. I was like, if I sleep, I'm wasting like $240, dude.
Oh my goodness.
So I just kept staying up as much as I could. I still spent a little money, wasted some of the money sleeping, but it was nice over there. Yeah, I think it's interesting when people get to like you would see it sometimes with the Romans or something. I don't know, you would see it, but you would hear about it with the Romans where like they got to levels of wealth and power that it veers into like a lot of sexual, like, I don't know if proclivities is the word. Is that a word?
Yeah, like what was it?
What does that mean, proclivities?
Yeah, no, you got it, right? So like Caligula, right? I saw the movie Caligula.
Was Caligula?
Right? Yeah, that was the movie where
that's
was
what
like,
it was?
Yeah, with all the sex and everything. Where
I hadn't seen that.
Everybody was your concubine,
Yes.
right? Male, women, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was just fucking everything because they could.
Yeah, I think that's something.
Yeah, my wife's not going for that shit.
yeah. There weren't a lot. Yeah, there weren't a lot of. Yeah. Once you put a wife in there, things
Yeah,
change.
it's over. Yeah.
Proclivities, a tendency to choose or do something regularly. A tendency to choose or do something regularly. An inclination of predisposition towards a particular thing. So it might activate proclivities in you for something.
Like with the Romans, their proclivities were to fuck around and have fun, right?
Yeah, and it would turn, I think, but a lot of people, they do so much like straight activity, then it gets into gay, or you know what I'm saying? Like oh yeah. And I don't know what I'm saying either, but I think that's something, I wonder, that's just what I'm asking, I guess. I wonder if that's something that happens when people get so much money and power that their band or they've already had as much of like regular sound. I wonder if it starts to build on itself.
What can I do next, right? What can I do? What can I get?
Yes.
Right? What can I get?
What else is possible?
Yeah, like not so much with sex, right? Because you're going to get fucked over by somebody at some point, right?
Well, can you imagine having to keep all of the, like trying to just, even if you ever like like I've cheated in relationships, that's hard enough, just knowing like.
What's next, right? Yeah.
Or just knowing like, I have to make sure we never go in this area, or what if this girl, that one thing alone, I can't imagine the level of like paranoia.
Yeah, is it worth it?
Yeah.
But look, I'm not going to say that, forget not sex necessarily, but just like going out and trying new things, right? Like I bought a plane, right? Because it's like that to me was the coolest thing after toilet seats, right? To like being able to just pop on a plane, right?
Oh, that's a dream.
When I sold my first company, I bought a lifetime pass on American Airlines. So literally I was 29 and I was like, I had this card where I could just go to any airport that had American Airlines, just show up, me and somebody else, and wherever they were flying, they had to put me on a plane.
Really?
It was insane. Yeah. So if that's like proclivities to go try different stuff.
That's your version.
Yeah, that's me, right?
Yeah.
Because look, I'm the luckiest motherfucker in the world and I don't want to let it pass, right? I want to take advantage of the time I got. But more now, it's more family, right? As I've gotten older, my kids have gotten older. It's more like my kids are 15, 18, and 21. And so it's like, let's spend more time with them because that's the most valuable thing to me. But when I was younger, before I got married, it was like, let's go, right? Travel, party. Let's see who could throw the biggest parties, right? Who can buy the biggest bottle of champagne, just rent a club, who can run up the biggest bill, right? Yeah, I was doing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's what I think. Some people, like, if you get so, like, some people get so powerful, or like there's a lot of gay folks out there. I think that they only veer into that or get into different sexual like things that are outside of what would be normal for them, maybe, that because they get so much power, like the Romans did it. Like, they say that they did it. Or there's people like financial gays, power gays. There's like,
I haven't heard that before.
Oh, really?
No, financial gays and power gays.
Oh, yeah. There's people
that
that get so rich they can afford to just be
just
gay for
anything
fun.
they want.
Yeah. Or like blind gays. There's even.
Like if you want to push limits, right?
Right, pushing limits. That's
if
what I'm
you
thinking.
think money can buy you anything,
right,
and you want to push the limits and think, okay, I got money that gives me power, so I can do whatever I want.
Right.
That's just going to backfire so hard because if you're not like real, the people that are you're messing with,
right,
they ain't going to be real either. And it's just going to be a disaster.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about with the Diddy thing. I think it's just like, at a level of that you can have anything, that you get this power. It's just kind of, it's sad and it's scary to see, I think that's some of the craziest
you
thing,
kind of wonder, like, when did it click? When did it like fall over the cliff, right?
Yeah.
When it went from, okay, let's hang and have some fun.
Have a good party to when it started getting weird.
Yeah, like I'm taking videos of everybody and this and that. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be other people that will come out about this, or do you think a lot of that's like myth, like internet mythology?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's just like something that's been on kind of the topic of news.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's an interesting subject, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wonder, like, and I wonder, because I mean, I've met the guy and I've seen
Yeah, I
him
met him
out,
one time too.
but it's just like, how does he get that far?
Yeah.
You know, and
And that kind of stuff's addictive too, though. Once you do one crazy thing, then that becomes
especially if
the
you're trying to
norm.
up yourself, right?
Right.
You know, because I mean, you've gone out drinking, I've gone out drinking with buddies, right? Oh, have another shot, right?
Yeah.
Have another, and that's what guys do, right? But if it goes to the wrong direction, it could backfire, and like it has.
And the paranoia of having to keep that would be a nightmare, man. I feel lucky I'm not living that way.
Yeah, but you know, to me, like the telltale sign is he fucking hurt people, right? He hit women, right? He dragged that one lady down the hall, and
Yeah, it's
that
obvious
tells you
he
he's
was-
fucked up somewhere,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's one thing to want to party, right? It's another thing to like, okay, I'm throwing a big party, right? But it's a whole nother thing to physically abuse people. That's just like, yeah, that shit. ain't
Yeah, and it's
right.
like, how do you not have your own awareness at that point? But then I think things get, when you get power and you get that much ability, your own sense of self can probably get skewed pretty easy.
yeah, something's fucked up, obviously.
Yeah.